Okay, well, all I've really gotten done today was a little more smudging of darkening the values on these trees. And painted in these rocks. You can see the higher values showing up there. You know, that having these rocks in place tells me how much higher value and you know where I can lay that into this water, because this water has suddenly become very weak and the rocks are floating on top of the water rather than being anchored in place. And I'm trying to sort of establish this whole thing of a loop. You know, I want this light coming across here, catching these two trees mainly, and some in here, and then this will fade off as we get off the edge here. So we'll have our line coming down here, across, and down there. And yes, some of these colors and some higher values will be slowly broken up above this sort of band of cloud here, rising off from different areas. Because we still have sort of a very narrow point of interest. Which, you know, if I were to cut the painting off right here and cut across, it'd be a great painting, great composition. But we don't. We have a 24-36, so we need to occupy this area, not just to fill space, but to help support everything else in the painting. I'm kind of glad that we have this to work with still, because it'll give it, when it's done, that height will give it maybe a sense of, maybe a little bit of a sense of bigger atmosphere, maybe a sense of grandeur, maybe, I don't know, we'll see. But this video isn't about that. This video is much cheesier than that. There's my beautiful old... It's not new to me. I've had that chair for years, but I love it. Beat up and worn out. It's been soaking wet and it's dried out, and I use it in front of my my easel right now. But my wife bought me a little barbecue, and it's a tabletop barbecue. We have a great big barbecue on our deck, you know, 40,000 BTU or whatever, hook up to a big propane tank, and 20-pound propane tank, and it takes forever for the thing to heat up, and kind of a cheap thing. Here, let me just adjust my camera so that I can do this in a way that you can look at me and I can look at you, and you can still see what's going on here. Okay, I think that'll work. Okay, now, can we see each other? No, it's okay. You don't need to look at my face. I don't even like looking at my face. But this is from Cabela's. It's stainless steel. No, I'm not paid to do this. None of that stuff. We were just there the other day and we needed to look at some camping gear. My wife and my daughter are going camping in a couple of weeks, and I had said to my wife earlier this year that I would like to at some point get a small barbecue, a tabletop. You know, we no longer have children at home. We don't entertain people, really. So, but I still love barbecued food, and so does my wife. So we thought, well, let's have a look at this. This is only 12,000 BTU, but it's also pretty small compared to, you know, your sort of full-size freestanding barbecue. And I thought I would just pull this out of the package and make this most likely the worst unboxing video you've ever seen. But because I did so little in the way of painting today, And yesterday for that matter too, I really didn't do that much. I thought I'd just share this with you. Silly as it is. Okay, come on, get out of there, get out of there. Yeah, I think we can toss that over there. It's pretty weighty. It's pretty weighty for its size, which is always a good sign. Weight usually means quality. Unless, of course, it's full of bricks. But I doubt that's the case. What do we have here? Yeah, it's sold by Cabela's. Who actually makes it? I don't know. It's just called the Stainless Steel Tabletop Grill. If I remember right, I think they were on sale. Something in the neighborhood of 150, 160 bucks Canadian. So, you know, $8 American. I think I'm going to quite like this. Of course, it's not a freestanding tall grill. It's going to need a table. So the next thing we're going to have to go shopping for is a table to put it on. But it's got a pretty serious little clasp on it here. Seems pretty well built. I like it. I know that before I was married, when I was still a single guy, I had a whole bunch of those small tabletop barbecues because I could take them out in the boat with me and, you know, go camping. It was easy to back around. And at the time, those things even put out 20 to 30,000 BTU. Far better than the stuff that I put out now. You could really do some serious steak on those things. I'm just hoping though that even though they say this is only 12,000 BTU, you never really know how it behaves until you take it apart, set it up, and use the thing. I know tons of this has got to be off camera. Okay, knife time. Oh, there we go. Got a little zip strap holding that on. Come on. Regulator. We've got our little bits of cardboard here to protect things in shipping. Our heat shield, heat/grease shield. A bit of styrofoam. You know what I like about this thing? It says low BTU, but there's quite a bit of burner surface there. I also like the fact that it has this deal, which actually, the way it's lined up, it prevents most of the grease that will come off of the grill. It prevents the grease from hitting the burner. Most of it will drop inside here, between the burners. And the rest of it will drop to the outside. But at the bottom of this, there is a tray to catch all of your grease. So it doesn't make a mess on the table that you'll put it on. Actually, why am I trying to reassemble this now? It's got a piezo lighter, you know. Doesn't need a battery, doesn't need any of that silly stuff. My goodness, if you need a battery to light something called a piezo lighter or a piezo lighter, then that just sounds crazy to me. Let me just saw through this a little bit here. Get the plastic out. Okay, well I'm gonna play with this. I'm not exactly sure what to do with this actually. Where does that go? I can't see where it would go. I'm going to pull it out of there for the time being. I'll figure it out. I'm not going to waste your time going through this. Anyway, I'm sure happy to have gotten this, and I look forward to playing with it. Tomorrow also will probably not be a painful day. Going to my daughter's to get a big fat dining room table out of her place. And we'll donate it to the thrift store. Let me just change the camera angle a bit here so you can actually see my ugly mug for a moment. Yeah, and some other chores. And after that, I might do some painting. I don't know. I do know that I really look forward to using this thing. It seems like a good grill for camping. Seems like a good grill for something that is just my wife and myself. Seems easy to use. Anyway, I guess I'll be forced into actually reading the instructions pretty soon. Alright, I think I've wasted enough of your time, but I'm looking forward to my new toy, to using my new toy. See you later, have a good weekend.